not to be part of that last year, to come in here the first day of training camp and to see that banner. It was a hard pill to swallow.
You're in a one-off championship situation that has now come down to sudden death.
You know, it's what you dream of. It's what you always hope to be a part of when you grow up playing.
You guys were sending the right message in there with or without me.
Play like you have, you know you deserve to be here, so why not go and win it?
It is the Belfast Giants against the Dundee Stars. Challenge Cup action. Last season's Challenge Cup winners against the Dundee Stars here in an exciting encounter. And it's a goal for the Belfast Giants. And well, look at this, the pressure just piles on. And the Belfast Giants have now taken a 2-0 lead with 5:27 left of the first period. McFall has the puck and he puts it into the tip into the net.
The tip in across the line on the left hand side, feeds across in the centre. Good chance here, and that is another goal for Belfast. Good move, very quick transitional play there from Belfast, and Kyle Bond makes it Dundee 2, Belfast 4, 9:19 to go in this game. And it finishes Dundee Stars 2, Belfast Giants 4.
Going into Dundee and experiencing UK hockey for the first time and the fans and stuff, and I thought it was great. I thought it was fun. You know, everybody's getting their legs under them and stuff. It was their first game of the season too, so it was good. And then the back-to-back nights, I hadn't played back-to-back hockey in a little while, but it was good to go into Fife and be able to gut one out and have a good performance by the guys and get a good start to our Challenge Cup season.
You know, getting those victories early so you can qualify in a top position, especially the way it's set up now, where you get to pick your opponent. If you can finish in that top spot and have your pick, that was going to be beneficial to us. We know it's tough always taking the trips over to Scotland and back, especially at the start of the year. It feels like you do it every weekend there off the bat. So to get the wins early and get our footing and know that we're going to be advancing early on was big for us.
I do a lot of the stats. I'm looking, at other teams and our own team, and I always like to group it all together. Whether it be Challenge Cup or League, to me they're all important games. So, but I certainly have noticed that Kyle Bond has had an outstanding Challenge Cup appearances, and his stats don't lie from there. And I think that during those early stages, guys really weren't looking at whether or not it was a Challenge Cup game or a league game. Just wanted to win every game, and I think Kyle, he was really on fire at that time, and I think that's why you see his stats reflect that in the Challenge Cup.
The final whistle goes, and it's Dundee 0, Belfast 8 in this Challenge Cup quarter-final first leg.
We struck a little bit lucky with Dundee. Their goaltender got hurt the weekend before the first game, and we knew that they were going to be a bit weak in that department. Not to say that the sheepdog is not capable, but we knew that if we jumped on top of them early, we could possibly get a lead and build it.
With the aggregate score, it's difficult sometimes being on the other side when a team's trying to run up the score, and you don't want to disrespect your opponent, but that's the nature of the game, and we were fortunate to get out a big lead, and coming on home ice, we obviously felt comfortable at that point with a large gap. So we put ourselves in a good spot, and anytime you can make it a little easier on yourself and in advancing, that's what we did, and that helped us beneficially moving on forward from there.
Giants victory 4-2 on the scoreboard today, obviously 12-2 aggregate.
Connolly wins it back, and it goes, Matt Becker on the turn. Unplanned with 4 seconds to go of the first period, have struck first blood in this last board clash with the Belfast Giants. tries one. It's Hansen, and it's snuck in at the far post. Gerard Hansen will claim it. And Belfast are beaten for the second time. Face-off circle, Bound fancies it, and Bound gets the goal. The Giants pull one back. You can hear what the home side think of that one.
Probably the toughest part when you get into the semi-final round is you're playing so many meaningful games in the league schedule on top of where you're at with those games. And you're playing so many games, usually you're mixing in those semi-final games on top of a heavy schedule. And that's where we found ourselves. I think it was on a Tuesday night after we'd played 3 games, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday the previous weekend. So we're in a tough spot, and you could tell that we had some tired legs.
You know, we had a pre-game skate that day as well, which we don't normally have when we're on the road, but you could just see the guys were a bit laggy, and they just weren't at the game, you know, and went in the game that night, and it was, you know, we could have been a couple down.
Glasgow's a tough place to play in. I find it to be a difficult spot to play in, and to go in there, we knew it was going to be a battle on our hands, and I think at the end of the day, when we walked out with just a 1 goal in the hole there for the aggregate was in a way a moral victory for us.
We were comfortable and confident coming back home down 1 that you know, we would have a good opportunity to close that gap. You don't want to be down 2 goals or anything greater than that. It can kind of be a mental thing where you think it's going to be a tough gap to close. So to come back 2-1, we felt like we were in a pretty good spot given the circumstance.
The Glasgow Clan are hot right now. They have won 4 straight in league play. They've got a 2-1 lead after semi-final leg 1.
The second leg against Glasgow was huge for us, you know, to get that confidence booster. I think we were playing them 3 games in a row then, so to get off on the right foot was big for us because they were playing really well at the time. I think they were 9 out of 10 wins. So we knew we had our work cut out for us playing against them.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. Rutherford on the goal line. Higgins with the return feed. That's up over the bar. Lovely feed, and Smotherman tucks it home. It's 2-2 on aggregate.
We came out hard. I think the guys were ready. Being down by a goal in such an important game, you know, having an opportunity to defend a championship that they'd won the year before. Guys, you know, coming into that game, were very focused in the room and ready to come right from the drop of the puck.
The broken stick in the way, but Riley will twirl around that. Riley with the shot. It's in! It's in! Rutherford! Now Smotherman scores! Puck to Twine! Oh, so fine! It's another one for Smotherman, and it's 3-0 Giants. Here's Murphy. Murphy gets to the ball. Ball with the shot, scores! Oh, right on cue. That's number 11 for Kyle Bond, and it's 4-0 Belfast.
Coming into this game, we had the home crowd on our side, and we knew that we just had to win a hockey game to move on. And you could tell in that first period we really came at them and played probably one of our best periods of the season there to jump out to the lead and close the gap right away and never look back from there, really.
To get that lead early after the first, you know, and from then it's a mental battle for 2 periods to, you know, maintain it and hold on to it. And I think through the course of the game, it slipped on us a little bit, but we always found a way to get the hole back up and to make them keep trying to dig out of it to a point where they couldn't.
Higgins in the corner, though, wins it back against Becca. Back to the point. Here's Riley. Riley with the shot. Oh, goodness gracious! The captain tucks it upstairs, and Blair Riley with a dart. Connolly goes to the front of the net. The shot by Peacock goes in. Craig Peacock rips it 5-hole on Bescarawani, and they're within 2 again, the Clan. Back to Earhart. Earhart with a double clutch. He scores! A rocket from the point, and Travis Earhart gets the Twine. Vaughn back to Roach. Roach with the wrist shot, scores! Lovely shot from the point, and Josh Roach just gets the puck through. Traffic in front, and I don't think Rumpel ever saw it. The Belfast Giants will defend their Challenge Cup crown in Cardiff. They skate off with a 6-3 victory this evening and a 7-5 scoreline on aggregate.
History will be made tonight in what is the league's first showpiece final of the year.
There was a good feeling in the team, you know. Sunday morning I went to the rink, get all my skates sharpened and stuff, you know, and there was two buses. One at 1:20 and one at 1:45. Some guys like to be early, some guys just like to come game time. But it was weird because I think 95% of the team came on that 1:20 bus, and the way they walked in, it was just like, these boys mean business today.
We knew that we were going to be in for a tough game. Anytime you play against a team in a one-off game, when the stakes are that high, you know they're going to be good, and you have to be good to be able to match that.
To stand there and hear that crowd and hear both sides just yelling and getting ready to go, you know, you're telling yourself, okay, I gotta be as hyped, if not hyped, which I was, but you can't get too hyped as well, right? You have to find that medium and really just focus on your job and that one stop and that one save at a time.
Can the Belfast Giants retain the trophy they won so impressively last year, or will the Guildford Flames add to their Pattern Conference success this year?
Stay the course for 60 here, 64 minutes.
We're going to get down to business, and the puck is dropped. Ben Davis playing in Cardiff, but for the Flames, and there's a good pass from him, fired in, and Bescarani gets a pad onto that.
That first period, they came out flying, which we knew they would.
You know, it was kind of back and forth, and it seemed like we were almost getting a little bit outplayed in that first period, and they were getting a little more quality chances, and we had to rely on Besco to, you know, keep the score 0-0.
Come on, boys, we need a little bit better here, eh? We need a little bit better. We're a little bit gun shy here.
I thought the first period went by very quick. We didn't anticipate there would be a lot of power plays. We thought the refs would call a fairly tight game and kind of let the players decide it. And we thought that would probably work to our favor because Guildford's biggest strength is probably their power play and their top skilled lines.
And that is the buzzer for the end of the first 20 minutes of play. And, well, we said it was quick. We didn't think it was maybe going to be that quick.
We came into the room and we regrouped and we said, hey, it's 0-0, you know, 20 miles left, let's just regroup and go again.
To the point for Roach. Dwyer finds space and he finds the back of the net. The defending Challenge Cup champions strike first. It's Patrick Dwyer.
And that's exactly the guy you want on the power play. What a release on that shot.
To start that second period, to get a big goal by Patty, kind of lifted the weight off of us a little bit, because you can tell in the first, it looked like we were feeling the pressure a little bit. You know, we got overwhelmed a little bit by their speed, and that goal kind of allowed us to settle in and get a little bit more comfortable and relax a little bit for the second.
We found an open spot there, and I just got it, and the D-man went down. I was able to get around him, and I shot, and you know, it hit the post. I heard it hit the post, and from there it was kind of a waiting game to see where it went. No one really reacted one way or another, and you know, as I got around the guy and was able to see that it was in the back of the net, you know, it was a moment of joy.
Foster's patient, good stick in the lane from Leonard to disrupt things. One-timer, it's there! A one-timer from Crooks level things up late in the second period. Game on in the Challenge Cup final.
All I remember is seeing someone come down the back door, and so I was kind of creeping. I was expecting the play to go that way, and there was a pass that came down from the half wall to down low, and then it was a quick bang play to the guy in the slot for a one-timer, and it beat me low glove right on the ice.
We got a goal here, boys. Can't put them on the fucking power play all night.
You know, we still felt confident, but you could tell that gave their bench and their fan base a pretty big jolt, and you know, gave them some life and hope going into the third period.
It's all tied up. It's been a fantastic game of hockey.
I thought an even game. I think it was, you know, it could have gone any way. Besko came up with some big saves. Kurosi came up with some big saves, you know.
Moving into the third, I thought that was an incredible 20 minutes of hockey. It seemed like it just evaporated in no time. There was chances both ways, and then kind of towards probably the second half of the period, you could see both teams kind of didn't want to make that mistake, because at that point it was looking like whichever team scored the next goal was probably going to win it.
The crescendo of noise around the arena, you can hear it, and we're underway.
The chances were back and forth a little bit. Obviously, the quality of the chances, I would like to see a little bit more quality from us, but it wasn't easy. You know, they made it hard on us. They played solid defensively and made it hard for us to get the inside and get real good looks. At the same time, I thought they had some good looks, but you know, a lot of them were from the outside as well. And anytime they got on the inside and got a good quality opportunity, we had. Thankfully, Tyler was in net and he was up to task, and he was solid all night long, and you know, he was one of the big heroes of that night.
Switches the play. Ackred, and that's a lovely block.
It's Jonathan Boxhill that time. That's a game-changing block as well. You see a guy like Jonathan Boxhill make a block like that this late in the game with it still tied up, you're going to have that belief. You're going to buy into this one. There's 3 minutes to go. That could be crucial.
When you're in a position like I am and some other guys on the team, most important thing is to be a good teammate. For the guys who play big minutes, if they see that you're positive and you're contributing in whatever way you can tell you right now it's infectious, and guys appreciate that. I watched that puck sliding and seeing Ackred, his eyes lit up and he was tickling the ceiling with his top of his stick because he really hit that one from the ladies' tees. As soon as I went down, I actually said to myself, as crazy as this sounds, just please hit me. Like, as crazy as people would think that sounds, just hit me with this puck.
You know, Keefe read a quote at the start of the game that said something to the effect of, when guys start to realize that the little things, whether it's blocking shots or chipping pucks out, those are important as the goals. You know, when everyone realizes that, that's when we start to see success.
It's one of the worst things as a winger when your D-man gets pucks through, and I'm sure those are the things that went through John's head, and especially with 3 minutes left, you don't want that to go in the net. He made the choice to lay down in front of an extremely hard slap shot, and those were big moments in the game, you know, that kind of pushed the team on. You know, certainly on the bench and the moment it was blocked, and it gives a bit of positive encouragement on the bench, and a little bit of positivity, and it shows sacrifice amongst our teammates. Those little moments are nice for guys who play that role.
Foster into Janssen, but Janssen, it bounces off of him. Now is a chance, a late chance for the Giants. Smotherman puts it again on Kurosi. Off the boards and dumped in, and with 10 seconds left, it looks like we are going into sudden death overtime.
Once it gets down to that last 5 minutes, you're playing safe, and you know, you don't want to be that guy to make that mistake that causes your team. So you're doing the little simple things right, and you're trying to get the guys going and keep the guys' legs going. You're in a one-off championship situation that has now come down to sudden death. Every little kid dreams of that when they're playing hockey in their driveway growing up. That's a situation that you want to be put in.
Guys were sending the right message in there with or without me. You know, they wanted that, and they wanted it on that night.
Just go and play like you have. You know, you deserve to be here, so why not go and win it?
And now it's down to their players on the ice. Who out there has the game on their stick? Craig with a drive, and Belfast Riley didn't really know where that was. Now Ackred still loose out in front. Dunbar elected not to shoot through the bodies.
You know, I pushed off to my right and ended up running into a bit of a traffic and got turned around a little bit. You know, I just kind of threw my glove out in desperation. I don't think it got through. I think it got blocked in front of me, but I ended up facing the wrong way, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but you know, everything worked out. I ended up getting turned back around and facing the play again.
At the start of the overtime, I thought we carried the offensive zone time. You know, we had some good cycle shifts, and it seemed like we were, you know, getting some some outside chances, not really quality ones, but we were controlling the puck, and it looked like we were a confident team.
Ben Davis, sight a goal for Ben Davis, and again, Vescolarani makes sure that his team stay alive in the final. What a chance, though, for the Flames.
You know, the opportunity that Davies had, you could see it from quite a ways away, and you could see that it was developing for a while. So, you know, when something like that starts to happen in overtime, it almost seems like it's slow-mo.
He's done what he did all year. You know, he stops, he makes those big saves. He's so calm in there, and you could really tell that, you know, he was going to shut the door for us, and we just had to get one for him.
Good shooters like that, you're not really sure where they're going to shoot. A little harder time reading them. I was able to make a good low blocker save that, you know, it was just over the pad, and it was a really good position shot.
It's a game-saving save. Literally, that could have been it.
Again, it's that guy hanging high for Guildford that nearly comes.
Turnover! Shots in front, and they get it! The Belfast Giants have retained the Challenge Cup in Cardiff. It's 2-1.
And I knew the guys were changing, so I'm like, I just got to get it deep, and then kind of just flipped it on the goalie, and then I saw that the goalie was going to play it, so I kind of was like, okay, I got a forecheck here. I'm the only one really on the ice at that point, me and Gary. Everybody else was changing, so, and then I went in, and I kind of was baiting the guy with my stick. I'm like, I just don't want to go D to D here, and for some reason he did it. He could have went up the wall. You know, he just tried to sauce it. You know, luckily I tapped it out of the air, and then I looked up and I saw 2 red jerseys coming down the middle with nobody around them, and threw it out front as fast as I could, and you know, that was the game. Put on small stick, and he was the right guy to have shooting that puck, you know, the way he's been shooting it lately.
Johner chips the puck in, has a great forecheck, knocks the puck out of the air on a play behind the net, and I just happened to come off the bench from a change, and there was nobody in the middle, and he put it right on my stick.
When that goal went in, though, I didn't know who scored. All I hear is a massive scream.
The feeling on that bench when we scored was just unbelievable.
I was beside, I think, Bonner on the bench, and I just started jumping, and he said after the game that it seemed like I didn't know that the game was over because I kept jumping, but I didn't go over the boards.
Jumping up and down in joy, I guess it was, you know, it was just an amazing feeling, and to be able to share that with the group of guys that we had was unbelievable.
I didn't know what to do. I was shaking my hands, trying to get my gloves off. I think they'd been off for a half a second or two, and I was still shaking them. It's just, it's an emotional overload.
I was one of the guys on the ice. I was probably the 15th guy to get to the pile, but you know, just getting there and feeling that, and giving those guys, getting in that pile and hugging guys, and just seeing the feeling on the guys were feeling at that moment, and it was just something you can't really describe. You know, we've been through so much with these guys, and just to be able to celebrate with the guys like that is something else.
It's an amazing feeling. We had a few different players on the team this year that you know, had to sit and watch last year. Jim Vandermeer and Johner were both out with injuries, so to have them be on the ice in the uniform and play a big part in the game this year, it was special for them. You wonder how long some guys have left to play as well, and to experience moments like them towards their end of their careers is a pretty cool feeling. And you know, we talk about how good and close this group has become over the season, and this is something that, you know, really solidifies that bond for the rest of our lives.
Blair Riley is going to collect the trophy, and now for the 2nd season in a row, the Belfast Giants lift the Challenge Cup trophy. They are the champions in 2019.
I think the ones that were here last year knew what they were doing this time. They went right to my eyeballs again. And like that sting for Boxy on the block shot was probably the best pain he's ever felt. That'd be right up there as well. I'll experience that stinging in the eyeballs every single day of my life if I could. It's pretty special. It's something you can't really put into words necessarily.
I played golf with Besco during the week. He told me he bought cigars ready for after the game. And he said to me, we were walking the course, he said, we're going to win that game. He had no doubt in his mind that we were going to win that game, and he was going to do everything he could to ensure that we were able to enjoy those cigars after the game, because he goes, I don't know what I'm going to do with 25 cigars if we don't win this game.
There was a couple of bottled whiskeys in there, the cigars, good bit of banter. Besco comes up to me, said, do you mind if I go to the bar? I said, I'm not stopping you. He said, hey, my gear. I said, do what you got to do. I said, and then he came, he's upstairs, he's signing autographs, got a cigar in his mouth. And I'm packing up. I'm trying to get everything back out on the coach because he's going on in the sports bus to go back on a team bus. Besco, you're getting that drum out of that bag right now. So he's in the dressing room, banging the drums, singing away, and the boys are just loving it,
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen in a celebration like that. Those are kind of the things that that'll be special when you look back on, and I'm sure there'll be a few pictures that'll surface from it. So, like I said, that's the kind of guy Besco is. He's the big man for a reason. He's the center of attention, and he just loves being a part of the team.
Yeah. My kids are still pretty young, so having them there for that, and having my parents just with everything they've done for me over the years, and being able to come and see that happen is just, it means so much to me, and having my wife there, it's still emotional for me, just having that, something we can always have, and it couldn't work out any better.
For me not to be part of that last year and to see the jubilation and to come in here the first day of training camp and to see that banner, it was a hard pill to swallow to go away for a year, and I think it was a good thing for me, both physically and most importantly mentally. But to win a championship with this group and in this organization means a lot to me for sure.
Wherever you are, you want to win, and at the end of the year you want to say you won a trophy, and to do that was a special experience. And then to score in the game too, you just adds that whenever you can contribute to the team winning, it's a great feeling.
We talk about how good and close this group has become over the season, and this is something that really solidifies that bond for the rest of our lives. And as long as guys are playing or are retired, those are friends and memories that you'll have forever.
The Challenge Cup is actually one that's, as a player, would always escape me, and to be honest with you, it does sting as a player when you go to, I don't know how many finals I've been to, but I've lost some heartbreaking ones. 2 for 2 as a coach is obviously a great feeling.
That's a big one. Retaining it, that is huge, isn't it? There's not many teams that do it. For us to do it, with the schedule we've had this year, with the last couple of years, last year's schedule was horrendous before Christmas. This year's again, and to get to the final and to repeat, is a pretty good feat.
There's a deeper passion for the team here that I've ever seen. I've played on teams that have won championships in the past. I've been fortunate enough to be in that situation, but never have I seen a fan base so moved by an effort and by a championship that people were crying after the game, and seeing that puts the whole thing into a new perspective and a new light, and makes it that much better.
Let's go, Belfast. Let's go. This one's for you guys just as much as anybody else here. Let's do it. Woo! Woo!